Welcome back, everybody, to the Paralogic.com Summary Deep Dive. This is number 11.
11 already, huh?
I know, right? Time flies. So for anyone new here, we take all the recent Paralogic.com posts and
boil them down.
boil them down to the most interesting stuff.
The good bits.
Yeah, so if you don't have time to read everything,
This is the place to be.
yeah, this is your one-stop shop. But of course, this is just a quick overview.
A taste.
Yeah, taste. So make sure
Do your own research.
definitely do your own research. And of course, this is not financial advice.
Never.
Never. Okay, so let's dive into cybersecurity and cryptocurrency, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay. First up, the world of espionage. What's new in the world of cyber threats?
Always something new.
There's always something, right?
Yeah.
Well, the NSO group, remember them? The spyware folks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, some leaked documents are suggesting that they might have been more directly involved in some shady stuff than they've admitted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not surprising, though, is it?
No, not really. I mean, espionage is still a thing.
Oh, yeah. Always will be.
Right. Just with fancier tools.
Exactly.
Speaking of fancy tools, let's talk about these rom-com hackers. I mean,
that's a new one.
I love the name.
Clever.
So this Russian group is using classic rom-com tropes.
Really?
Yeah, to spread malware. Imagine getting a phishing email that says, "You had me at malware."
Oh, wow. See?
People would click that.
I know. It's genius.
It is?
So they're exploiting these zero-day vulnerabilities in Firefox and Windows.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So it's not just your grandma falling for a scam email anymore.
Everyone's a target.
Everyone's a target.
That's scary.
It is. And then you get this, espionage is getting a literal upgrade.
What do you mean?
Researchers have figured out how to use HDMI vulnerabilities for data theft.
HDMI?
Yeah, HDMI. Like TVs, monitors, even laptops, they all use it.
That's wild.
I know, right?
So watching Netflix could be risky.
Potentially. They call it the Deep Tempest attack.
Deep Tempest.
Yeah. Pretty scary stuff.
It is, yeah.
And of course, we have the Russian hack, always up to something.
Always. They've been pioneering this new technique for remote Wi-Fi espionage.
That's not good.
No, it's not.
Like public Wi-Fi?
Yeah, public Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Like at a coffee shop or the airport.
So VPNs are more important than ever.
Absolutely. Better safe than sorry.
For sure.
But hey, there is some good news. Microsoft is really stepping up their Windows security.
Oh, good.
Yeah, new recovery tools, patching innovations, all that good stuff.
Better late than never, I guess.
Right. It's good to see them taking it seriously.
Yeah, it is. It's about time, right?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's talk crypto. Cryptocurrency. Bitcoin's been declared dead, 415 times now?
Something like that.
But it's still kicking. Still fighting its way back to $100,000.
It's resilient, that's for sure.
It is. What do you make of that? Why does it keep coming back?
Well, I think it shows that people still believe in its potential, you know, despite all the ups and downs.
Yeah, the volatility.
It's a bit wild.
Yeah. But now for something I didn't expect. Central banks are actually pulling back a bit on those central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Remember all the hype?
Yeah, it seems like the initial excitement has kind of died down a little.
What happened?
Well, I think geopolitics are playing a role, and concerns about some projects maybe going against international sanctions.
Makes sense?
So they're shifting their focus back to those existing instant payment systems, like FedNow here in the U.S.
Interesting. So maybe CBDCs aren't the future after all.
Maybe not, or at least not yet.
Okay, well, this next topic is a bit more alarming.
Oh.
Operation Choke Point 2.0.
Sounds serious.
It does. What was going on here?
Well, we're seeing reports of financial exclusion targeting crypto and tech innovators.
What do you mean?
Imagine you're a successful tech founder and suddenly you can't get basic banking services.
No way. Is that really happening?
Yeah, it is. Over 30 founders have already experienced this.
Wow. That's crazy. What's the reason behind it?
Well, there are concerns about censorship and unfair targeting. It's a pretty complex situation.
Definitely something to keep an eye on. Okay, let's move on to something a bit lighter. Shiba Inu, its burn rate has gone through the roof.
Yeah.
Like a 486% surge.
Whoa, that's huge.
Right. And there's a lot of talk that whale activities are behind this.
Probably.
What does this mean for the average Shiba Inu holder?
Well, it's a good reminder that those big holders, the whales, they can really move the market.
I see.
Their actions can create big price swings that smaller investors might not be prepared for.
So this burn rate surge While it could drive up the price in the short term,
Right.
it also raises questions about long-term stability.
Exactly.
So should Shiba Inu investors be worried?
Not necessarily, but it's a good reminder to do your research and understand the market before you invest.
Good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of big moves, Putin just signed a new law in Russia setting up tax rules for digital currencies.
Interesting.
Right. What does this mean for the global crypto landscape?
Well, it's a big shift for Russia. It means they're moving towards regulation instead of banning crypto outright.
So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's complicated. On one hand, it brings crypto into a more legitimate framework, which could lead to more adoption. But on the other hand, it raises concerns about government control.
Yeah, that's true. It's a tough balance. Let's shift focus now to the future of finance. Stablecoins have seen incredible growth, 319% since 2021. Why are they such a hot topic?
Well, they offer something unique in the crypto world, stability. Unlike Bitcoin or Ethereum, which are all over the place,
Right.
stablecoins are pegged to a stable asset like the US dollar.
And they're more predictable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which makes them more appealing for everyday transactions and as a hedge against the volatility of other cryptocurrencies.
So could stablecoins be the key to wider crypto adoption?
They definitely have the potential. Their stability makes them attractive to both individuals and businesses.
Interesting. Okay, now this next bit of news is a potential game changer. There's talk that the Trump administration is considering shifting oversight of crypto from the SEC to the CFTC.
Wow, that would be huge.
Right. What would that mean?
Well, the SEC has traditionally taken a more cautious approach to regulating cryptocurrencies. They tend to view a lot of crypto assets as securities, but the CFTC generally regulates commodities and derivatives. They might be a bit more hands-off.
So what would this mean for the future of crypto in the U.S.?
It's hard to say for sure. Some people think CFTC oversight could lead to a more innovation-friendly environment and boost the industry, but others worry it might mean less consumer protection.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot to think about. And then we have this ruling from the Fifth Circuit Court limiting the Treasury's authority over immutable blockchain smart contracts.
Oh, right. That was a big one.
It was. What does this mean for decentralized finance, DeFi?
This ruling is a big win for DeFi proponents. It affirms the decentralized nature of blockchain technology and restricts the government's ability to directly control or manipulate smart contracts.
So more freedom for DeFi.
Essentially, yes. But of course, that also raises concerns about potential risks and the need for consumer protection.
It's always a balancing act, isn't it? Innovation versus regulation. And speaking of innovation, there's growing interest in XRP ETFs. Wisdom Tree has joined the race. And this is all happening against the backdrop of this shifting regulatory landscape in the U.S.
Yeah, it's an exciting time for XRP.
What does this tell us about the mainstreaming of crypto?
I think it's a strong signal that traditional finance is taking cryptocurrencies seriously. ETFs offer a more accessible and regulated way for investors to get involved. And the fact that big firms like Wisdom Tree are exploring this avenue suggests a growing acceptance of crypto within traditional finance.
Wow, so much to unpack, huh?
Yeah, definitely a lot going on.
So before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's take a minute and recap.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, so we started by talking about espionage, the whole spy game.
Always a good place to start.
Right. And we learned about the NSO group and their potential involvement with spyware operations.
Shady stuff.
Yeah, then there were the rom-com hackers using those clever tactics to spread malware with those rom-com themes.
Pretty creative.
Right. And of course, a Deep Tempest attack using HDMI for data theft.
Who would have thought?
I know, right? So then we moved on to cryptocurrency. We talked about Bitcoin's crazy resilience.
It just won't die.
It won't. And the surprising pullback from central banks on CBDCs.
Yeah, that was unexpected.
It was. And then the concerning trend of financial exclusion targeting crypto and tech innovators.
Definitely a worrying development.
Yeah, for sure. And then there was that Shiba Inu burn rate surge. Remember?
Oh, yeah, driven by whale activity.
Exactly. Showing how much influence those big holders have.
For sure.
And then we talked about Russia's move to set up tax rules for digital currencies.
A sign of the times.
It is. Governments are starting to take crypto seriously.
You can't ignore it anymore.
Exactly. And then we talked about the future of finance and the rise of stablecoins.
The stablecoins are definitely interesting.
Yeah, their stability and potential to bridge the gap between traditional and crypto economies is fascinating.
It's definitely something to watch.
And then there's that potential shakeup with the Trump administration, considering shifting oversight of crypto from the SEC to the CFTC.
That would be a big change.
It would. And finally, we explored the implications of that Fifth Circuit Court ruling, limiting the Treasury's power over those immutable blockchain smart contracts.
A victory for DeFi proponents.
It was. So yeah, it's a crazy time to be following these fields, right?
Absolutely. Things are changing so fast.
So much innovation, but also so many challenges.
Exactly. It's a wild ride.
It is. Well, we hope you enjoyed this deep dive into cybersecurity and cryptocurrency.
We had fun.
We did. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the world around us.
And keep exploring.
Yes, keep exploring. Until next time.